I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, for the first time, we will be courtroom hopping into the courtroom of Judge Elizabeth Disanto out of the state of Michigan. I am looking forward to see how Judge Disanto handles the sovereign citizen before her by the name of Bradley Peterson. I heard that he can be a handful. So with that being said, I don't want to prolong this thing, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into this proceeding.
For the people, please. Ms. Bella? Ms. Bella, can you please place your appearance on the record? Ms. Bella? Okay, counsel, you're, Mr. Pervin Keller, your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yvonne Paravine Keller, P84328, appearing on behalf of Mr. Bradley Peterson, who is present today in the courtroom.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Peterson, for the record, please.
Bradley Thomas Peterson.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Bella, your appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michaela Vella on behalf of the people, P87185.
All right. And so today is the date scheduled for a probable cause conference in this matter. And counsel?
Your Honor, I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Peterson in the breakout room, and this is something that the court may be aware of, and I am not. Mr. Peterson had recently come out of being incarcerated for the purposes of these proceedings. He got out on bond, and that was arranged. Mr. Peterson and I had discussed a number of things in the breakout room. We discussed going forward with strategy in this case, and Mr. Peterson had informed me that he had filed a motion with the court to remove the judge from this case. And regardless of whether that motion had been filed or not, or whether he intended for such a motion to be filed, I advised him that I was not comfortable with doing so and that I did not agree to do so for the purposes of this case. And as such, him and I discussed that this was going to be a stopping point in going forward with representation. And as such, we parted amicably. And at this time, I would ask to be allowed to recuse myself from this case, Judge.
So you're all right. So counsel, you are asking to be removed from this case because Mr. Peterson filed a motion on his own and not with discussion with you, and you're not comfortable with that motion.
That is not the sole reason, Judge. Mr. Peterson insisted that the only way that he would be comfortable with me representing him in this case, is if I continued and persisted with this motion. I do not agree with the motion that he is filing, and he said that he would prefer to go on his own if I would not go forward with this motion in his behalf. And we had a civil discussion about this, Judge. We did not have a fight or anything. I want to make that clear. Mr. Peterson and I have a good relationship, speaking-wise, so I'm not trying to cast aspersions on him at any point. I want the record to reflect that. But this is an impasse that we have reached, and that is the reason I have brought this to the court's attention.
Okay. All right. The court will note that there was a motion that was filed today asking for this court
For the videotape, hearing a bell and charges.
Okay, we don't have videotape. You can request a transcript, certainly. That's yes, you can certainly request a transcript.
Yeah.
You don't need a motion for that. You can You can request a transcript without a motion, just so you know.
Okay, well, we did it over Zoom, so I just assumed that you'd have a videotape of it and not a transcript of the 7th, of January 7th, when we had a bail bond discussion and charges of trespassing and assault in the city of Woodhaven. We did it over Zoom.
I understand we did it over Zoom, but we don't, that was not recorded over Zoom. It was
just a
recorded on our transcript.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to file a motion for that, I guess, because I don't.
No, sir, what I'm saying is that you don't need a motion for transcripts. You can just request the transcripts.
Okay, yeah.
There's a fee that you have to pay, but it's not a motion.
Okay, yeah, I request that. Also, I request on the Michigan Court Route 2.003, I believe it's filed that on the 17th on Friday or something like that. So
okay, hold on, just a moment. Okay, well, counsel, I will allow you to, I will grant your motion to terminate representation specifically as far as moving forward, but counsel, I would just, if you can just stay on these proceedings.
Oh, of course, I would sure, yeah, I have no problem.
Let me finish, please.
I'm sorry.
To advise Mr. Peterson appropriately if he's getting into some territory he shouldn't be getting into, okay?
Of course, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and so, okay, that's what this one is, that, okay, so this seems to be, so the motion you filed today, sir, is regarding the Zoom video that does not exist, but the transcripts you can certainly request, correct?
yes.
That's all of this one, okay. So let me make a note on here. So I'm just going to note, defendant's motion for Zoom transcript denied, as it doesn't, Zoom video denied, as it does not exist. Because you did that on, you recorded that, right, Ally?
On the 7th?
Yes.
I believe so, but I don't know. I have something from the 7th, but I can't click it while I'm recording.
Yeah, no, I think you came in to record on that day. Okay, so I just wanted to confirm that, that was in fact done with, Ally, so we have the transcript only for that. Okay, and so then you filed something, let's see, I see something else on January 21st. Oh, this must be the copy of the same.
They'll give you 2 copies of each.
Yes, yeah, okay, that's fine, okay, so there's that. You filed something on January 17th, and you're requesting under 2.003 to dismiss, disqualify the judge as follows. Filed the motion in good faith. The fair bond conditions and restrictions to stop U.S. public protests at City of Winnebago Public Schools are biased favors given to plaintiff. Okay, well, sir, I can tell you that that's not, that's a condition this court put in because that's what's alleged as a violation. So to protect the complaining witnesses, that's what the court put in. Just as in any assault case, sir, I put a no contact provision in. And so that is why I did that, not because there's any bias at all.
Well, if you keep
not
reading,
at all.
If you keep reading, Your Honor, you'll see that the U.S. Federal Court, Judge Grant, Your Honor, because the city of Woodhaven tried to put a PPO on them, specifically told them, case dismissed, that he cannot violate my constitutional rights.
Okay,
Now, and I believe that's the issue.
Oh, hold on, please, just one moment. I understand that you think that that's the issue. I'm not trying to violate your constitutional rights. What I'm trying to do is that there is, right now, that there's a complaining witness. There are allegations, and so the court, as condition of bond, has put certain parameters and conditions of bond on. Just as, like I just stated, just as if there is an assaultive somebody with assault and battery or domestic violence, they're not allowed to return to the home or wherever the victim lives. They're not allowed to return to the victim's place of employment. They're not allowed to contact the victim. Those are all conditions I put in. Somebody with disorderly conduct, I put certain provisions in there, whether they can use alcohol or not use alcohol, whether they have to use testing or not testing. It's not intended to violate any rights under the U.S. Constitution. The purpose is for protection of the complaining witnesses and protection of society if this court deems necessary.
That's if somebody violated a law. I haven't violated nothing.
Sir?
I'm with you.
The allegation is that you assault or resisted, obstructed a police officer causing injury and trespassed.
That's
Now,
just an allegation.
you're correct. But as a condition of bond, there are certain factors the court has to take into consideration when assessing bond, and the court has judicial discretion to assess bond conditions. That is what this court did. I didn't place you on house arrest, told you couldn't move anywhere. I didn't do any of that, sir. I simply put forth conditions relevant to the allegations therein. And sir, I'm very much aware that they're allegations only.
Yeah, you need to read the whole thing, other than just one. I got like 15 issues in there.
15 issues.
Yeah,
Okay,
you need
so-
to read the whole thing. Also, Your Honor, I publicly protested today in front of your court,
Okay,
but none of your police came out to arrest me because that's my constitutional right to do.
You're
I'm
correct.
not ignorant of my constitutional rights. I'm not ignorant. A judge told me a long time ago, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right.
And so I studied a little bit. I don't know a lot, but I know my constitutional rights. I've done read your European Constitution over and over again. Actually, I wrote one of my own. If I followed your white laws, I follow them, and then you stomp on me when I follow your laws. You've been doing this for hundreds of years. You know, Martin Luther King marched, and you guys took dogs out.
Stop right now.
You
I'm not
violated our
100 years
rights.
old, so do not accuse me of stomping on anything.
Well,
Let's be very clear on that.
yeah, well, okay, yeah, it don't seem like it.
I'm not 100 years old, sir. Were you interfered with at all while you were engaging in your protest?
My constitutional right? No.
No, you were
I
not.
did at the city of Woodhaven though, and now you condemning me for it
No,
because
sir.
you restricted me.
Sir, let me be very clear.
I've committed no crime.
I am restricting, I put conditions on for the protection of the complaining witnesses, which is the authority that I've been given with my judicial discretion.
You also
No.
took an oath to uphold every citizen's constitutional right to public protest, but
Okay.
you're not doing that.
Sir, let me clarify. Let me clarify something. There is a balancing act that as judges we have to do. So we have you're charged with a crime, right? It's an allegation. We have the protection of the victim and the community. All right? So there's a balancing act that this court has to do. And that is what this court is doing. I have not restricted all of your movement. I have not said you can't put signs up anywhere. You can't go on any public property. I have not done that, sir.
You did.
No. What I did was I addressed specifically the complaining witness and the victims in this matter. That is what I did, and that is what I have the authority to do that's been given to me by the U.S. Constitution as well. That's statutory authority. Whether you agree with that or not, sir. I understand you don't agree, but that's not a basis for this court to disqualify itself. Let's see what the next one is here. Okay, I don't know what bias favors are. I'm not biased, prejudiced, discriminating against you in any way, sir.
That's your opinion.
Sir, let me just be very clear. The court has not infringed on your First Amendment right of free speech. What it did is it put in protections for the victim in this matter.
I'm the victim. I'm the
Which this
victim.
court has every authority to do.
I'm the victim, and you're not recognizing that. I just protested in front of your courthouse and it was okay. You should have arrested me then. When I go to your
So
schools
I don't
and
have
you're wind out,
arrest powers.
when I go
Sir,
to schools and you're wind out, you should arrest me, but
Sir,
you're not going to. It's
I
my
do
right.
not, let me just clarify. I, as a judge, do not have the authority to arrest you myself.
Well, they don't either. They took an oath to uphold my civil rights, whether they like it or not.
Sir, did anybody arrest you here?
You weren't supposed to. It's my constitutional right to do. Just like in the city of Woodhaven. This is what I'm trying to get through to you. You're trying to say, no, no, no. There's allegations against you that you did this, this, and this. I'm trying to tell you I exercised my constitutional rights and they violated me. I'm the victim.
And sir, that is everything that will come through discovery and whatnot. At this stage, this is considered pre-trial.
I know what this is.
So
I've
I
been
don't-
through your system before.
So
Also, Your Honor, I've asked if you don't dismiss yourself, I'm asking for another judge to hold.
Just one
to hear
moment,
it.
just one moment, please. This court, sir, has to take the allegations and there's a process.
Like I don't know it. I know your process. I've been down your roads before. But
I don't know
I'm
what
15.
roads of mine you've been down, sir.
I'm 15,
But you've
the
been here,
defendant-
excuse me, you've been here in this court a number of times,
Yes,
as
I have.
other matters have been disqualified.
Yes, I
And you
have.
have been treated with respect and fairness. And I believe you've even
That's
stated that
that's not
yourself.
all entirely true.
Hold on, sir, I believe you've even stated that yourself.
Yeah, but that's not all entirely true. You wasn't here to dismiss the posted signs, was you? You should have been here when the prosecutor dismissed City of Woodhaven posted signs.
What?
You didn't show up then.
Hold on, sir, I don't even know what one that is you're talking about.
Well, there was the one that we was going through and postponed. The City of Woodhaven
the
wrote
federal one?
violation. No, they wrote violations, I mean, for posted signs in this case, in other cases. Because I was protesting in the City of Woodhaven.
Okay.
But on that, the day that you were supposed to be here to have that case dismissed, another judge took your place. You
What?
think I'm sleepy or stupid, I'm not. But I'm 15.
Stop there right now, sir. Stop there right now. I don't think you're sleepy and I don't think you're stupid. When was that case? The one that you're talking about that I had another judge sitting for me, when was that case?
That was, I don't know the exact date of it, but I know the case was dismissed by a prosecutor.
Was that about a year ago, sir?
It was last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the time that I had somebody sitting here in my place was because I had to go to Illinois on an emergency basis because my father had a stroke.
Oh, my fault.
So instead of having everything dismissed, I made sure I had another judge here to cover. So do not accuse me of thinking that you're sleepy or stupid. I made sure that there was a judge here to cover it anyway. So whether I was here or not is irrelevant.
The case got dismissed from the City of Woodhaven. But anyway, I'm
That's
15. I'm 15. The defendant under Michigan Court Rule 2.003 requests a hearing by a district court chief judge in
That's
case if judge refuses to dismiss herself from this case. I know I have a constitutional right. If you don't dismiss yourself, I have the right for another judge to look at it. This way, it's impartial. It's where another judge can look at it and not just yourself. And
Sir.
apparently, you want to hold this case for a reason. And I believe that you in the City of Woodhaven, the state of Michigan is in conspiracy. You know what I mean? You guys can say I'm crazy or not, but that's what I'm seeing. Because if you're fighting so hard to keep this case in your court, there's something wrong. Something got to be wrong. You already violated my constitutional right to public protest at the City of Woodhaven because of allegations that I committed assault against the police officer. You guys don't even know me.
Sir, okay, stop right there, please, just one moment. So, I'm not fighting to hold on to this case. I was assigned this case by the State Court Administrative Office. Now, I'm also elected to preside over cases. So, unless there's a valid reason for this court to disqualify itself, I am obligated, whether I want to or not, to sit and preside over the matter. I am the chief judge of this court, and so I don't find that there is a basis at this point for me to disqualify myself. However, you certainly have the right to request the State Court Administrative Office can review that. That is absolutely your right. That's how that gets reviewed.
Well, yeah, I want another judge to look at this, because if you don't want to dismiss yourself from this case, we got a problem right there. Because
There's not a problem, sir. I have a responsibility.
The city would have.
Sir, I have a responsibility. The matter was transferred over to the 27th District Court because the 33rd District Court disqualified itself. Perhaps they sent it here because the other matters that you've had here, I don't know. I didn't ask for the case to be sent here. It's random. I have zero, just as though when I disqualify myself from a case, it gets sent somewhere else. I have no control over where it gets sent. I have no control over what gets sent to me, whether it's from 25th District Court, 28th District Court, 24th District Court, 34th District Court, or the like, sir.
Well,
So,
I have history.
just so you're aware.
Well, I have a history of this 27th District Court in cahoots with the city of Woodhaven. I think the judge Ken Bash or something like that. He might be up there somewhere. He's retired now. You guys did me the same thing, same way you did.
You guys, I wasn't here.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Your system, you wasn't here, you're not 100 years old.
It's not my system. It's the system of the country. It's the entire system. You keep accusing this court that I'm 100 years old and I've been oppressing things for 100 years, that it's my system.
Well, I'm saying
I didn't arrest you. That is not
it's your system,
my system.
and regardless, this is your system. It's not mine.
It is yours. It's
No,
not.
it's not. I'm Native Indian African. I'm not even a citizen.
No.
No, I'm a prisoner in my own country because of you white people. Y'all need to go back home where you guys come from.
Okay, sir. Well, let me just say this. All right. You are accusing this court of being biased and prejudiced.
And racist.
And
Yep.
racist. However, your comments, sir, would seem to suggest otherwise.
Look, why do you raped us, you robbed us, and you murdered us legally?
Stop right there.
Everything that you people have
Stop
done
right
has been legal.
there. It's not you. I did not do that.
You're the system.
Do not put that on me. But here's what I'm going to do, sir. I'm going to grant your request. And this court's going to disqualify itself, and you can figure out which other court's going to handle this matter after the state court administrative sends wherever it's got to send, whatever it has to send. So, because at this point, I am not going to stay here, take the abuse from you and your allegations, which are completely false and unbased. This court, myself, did not do anything that you're accusing me of doing at all. I wasn't even around at that point. So we're going off the record. You can step outside in the lobby. Somebody will give you the next stuff you have to do.
And I'll give you a call, Mr. Keller. Thank you very much for helping me.
That's all.
Yes.
There'll be another judge assigned.
So am I free to leave, or do I got to get paperwork or something?
I believe that you're all set, sir.
Well, thank you. You have a good weekend and a good year. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
'Cause I don't want to violate none of you guys' laws. Heaven forbid.
Okay, I have to wait to write this file. All right, counsel, so there's that. So it won't be this court anymore.
Okay, Judge. I appreciate the judge granting my withdrawal. I will contact and make sure that counsel is appointed to Mr. Peterson if he wants it. But otherwise, thank you very much, Judge. Have a pleasant day, and I'm sorry it had to be this way.
Oh, you're all set. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey guys, we've come to the end of this proceeding, and as we can see right off the top, with the public defender talking about he and the differences that Mr. Peterson had, that, you know, it was already going to be, you know, some issues there, you know, but the attorney was fair. He kept it real. Mr. Peterson was respectful with him. It wasn't any, you know, back and forth or any type of issues or arguing going on. But immediately we see one of the reasons why he didn't want to, you know, go along and help Mr. Peterson with his cases, because he wanted the judge in the courtroom, Judge Disanto, to recuse herself, because he felt like there was prejudice going on there, racism, so on and so forth. You guys saw the video, so I don't have to go through all of that again. But we see what happens is, you know, I give it to Judge Disanto. I think she gave him a little bit too much leeway. I think she allowed him to do a bit too much. And I think, you know, when she was trying to be transparent about her father and why she wasn't in the courtroom, I don't think that was something that she really needed to say and do. But as we can see, the longer she allowed Mr. Peterson to go on and keep talking, it drove her crazy, frustrated her to the point of where she said, you know what, I'm going to grant your motion. I am going to recuse myself. And, you know, just watching Mr. Peterson leave out and give his public defender that shout out, talk about I'm gonna call you later, after he went on a rant about white people and stuff like that. It was kind of comical to me. But nonetheless, you know, this is the second court that have recused themselves from this particular sovereign citizen in this case. So we'll see what happens in the next courtroom if we're able to get that proceeding. But with Judge Disanto, I'm gonna start grading these judges. I'm gonna have to give her a C on how she handled this. And you know what? Maybe that's being a little harsh, because I do respect her transparency and her trying to show Mr. Peterson, like, look, I'm not here to railroad you. I'm not against you. So I'm gonna upgrade that to maybe a B minus. No, let's stay at a C plus, right? I know some of you guys are gonna go in. Some of you are gonna give her a D, a F, because you just think she just allowed him too much rope, like I did. I think she just allowed him too much leeway to go on and say some of the things that he said. But with that being said, guys, thank you as always for joining me. This is Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video. It will help us in the YouTube universe. And for now, guys, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. See you guys soon. God bless.